Good morning, people of the internet. Jaxx Vane Studio Live. We are at number 32 already. Live 3 times a week on Twitch, working on a selling game prototype. Before we start, just a couple of things. First, well done, Napoli. Great, we won the Coppa Italia. And yeah, I think we were lucky enough not to give the referee any chance to influence the game, which is what you have to do and hope for when you play with Juventus. So referee couldn't really be part of a match actively, and we ended up winning it. So that's great. The other thing is I want to apologize for the audio in my last stream. I listened back to the video and it was terrible. It turned out it was my guitar attached to my Focusrite that was generating lots of noise. So hopefully I took care of that. So hopefully it should be much better. And next thing is we're expecting very hot weather in the Netherlands next week from Tuesday through Saturday, which means that, yeah, there is a possibility that Wednesday and Friday next week I won't be online because when I stream, to avoid noise from outside, I basically close all my room, as you can see, both for light and noise. And yeah, if it is right now in the room, I have 25.5 degrees, which is, I'm already near to my trigger point. You can see I'm sweating. So yeah, it's very possible that next week probably what is going to happen is I will start to work later in the evening. Although it's difficult because when it's hot here, I don't have air conditioning. It's so rare that it's hot here, and the house gets really hot, and even if outside the temperature goes down, it remains pretty hot, and I'm really not good in hot weather. Well, I'm worse than usual. Okay, so what I'm going to do today is one important change on the engine side, and something else from a usability point of view that sort of really push into the direction of where I can start to really think about getting somebody to test this game other than me. And the ability to customize controls is essential if I ever want to give this to somebody. So let's talk 1 second. Well, another thing, I mean, big shout out to my buddy Andrea that find out that this wind indicator has been wrong for quite some times. Basically, since I worked on the full course new logic, I inverted the sign of a function, and this wind direction has been wrong since then. And that's a typical example of developer tunnel vision, where although I was totally focused on this because I added the indicator for the foils and the sails and blah blah blah, but this has been inverted and I didn't notice. So yeah, thanks Andrea for noticing, and luckily it was an easy fix. I also have some new hardware today. I bought a new monitor, which is exactly the same monitor that I'm using to stream, and it's 144 hertz. So what I was noticing is that for some reason, let me turn this thing off. Let me just show you. Yeah, you can see here we are running at 144 frame per second synced. what I noticed, and actually I confirmed that by looking on the internet, is that if you have a multi-monitor system and you have a 60 hertz monitor and a 144 monitor, if you have something going on the 60 hertz monitor, the 144 will suffer, right? Which was exactly what was happening to me. Like if I thought it was the OBS capturing functionality, but it's really not. It's just if I moved, for example, on the OBS window on this monitor, it could capture at 144 without problems. Even just having a Chrome open on my second monitor, the 60 hertz monitor, would fuck up the refresh rate on this one. So interestingly, so I got rid of my old monitor and got this one. So they're both now 144. So hopefully the videos and the movement while I'm playing the game are going to be better. All right, let me explain what the situation here is with this transparency support changes. So right now, the way it works, let me open the editor. The way the entire system works is that the actual entity that decide what kind of transparency system we are using is the material. So, all right. So you might remember that we had this net here, and the thing that actually makes the net using the transparency is this blend mode alpha test, right? So if I change this, yeah, it loses the blend mode. So this is really attached to the material. This made sense when I was really thinking of a renderer that will work a lot like the Assetto Corsa renderer, where we will have lots of different materials for doing different kind of materials, of surfaces, right? But the way it's really progressing, it looks like we're going into a direction where Substance Painter and PBR with mask textures is really the direction that we're going. And so it looks like right now, for example, when I render the boat, I don't change the material at all. I just change the textures, but the actual shader, and in this engine, a shader is attached to a material and never really changes, right? So in a scenario where the direction where we're going is basically Jaxx is working on a new model for this boat, where we will have this part that is transparent, right? Which is very important when you are driving, because this otherwise will completely obstruct your view or whatever is on this side of the boat. And whether that's Mark or another boat, it's very important that you're able to see what's going on here, right? So, and also these parts have some transparency here and here, right? So imagine, for example, if I had to have this as a transparent object. If I want to trigger this, she will have to put a different material here, and then in the editor we will set the blend mode for the material. And we're not really going in that direction. So the idea is to actually move the logic of if something is transparent or not into the actual mesh. So it's going to be every single mesh that will have a property if it is transparent or not, right? So it's not going to be the material anymore to choose if there is transparency or not. So that's what we're going to do today. What I need, my idea is, I don't remember what I do here. I think nothing, right? Nothing at all. Ah, right, okay, the material, okay. So what I need to do is to have something here that as I'm changing the mesh that is selected, it will show me a checkbox with transparency settings, right? And checked is mesh transparent, and check mesh transparent tag is mesh. So different to program with C#. This thing in Rust will be like, oh no, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. This is literally like, you know, something that you would never do in Rust, never. Because it's a crash waiting for it to happen, right? All I have to do to crash this thing is load a new. I have a feeling I already said that regarding the editor. All I have to do is load a new model and forget to reset this, which actually let me do it. And click on that, boom, and it's crash. So let me do that. Basically, all that C# is all based on this kind of ideas. Everything is a reference. And you have objects that reference something else. That's how the entire system is built, which is exactly the opposite from Rust, where Rust wants to push you to use all in the direction of everything is a value, and if you want to put a reference in a structure, you know, I'm going to make your life miserable and very difficult, so you will think twice before you do it, right? Because you will be forced to have lifetimes and blah, blah, blah. So basically, for me, it becomes, if I can avoid doing it, don't do it. Right? That's the message. Okay, so. Right, so in theory, I should be able to get the net, set it as transparent. Yeah. Yep. All right, everything works. Our net works. New model works. So, whole happy. I wonder. And XXXXXXXXX Max, thanks for the follow. I wonder if I can try to do something. I think BC2 to support transparency. There you go, there you go, there you go, there you go. All right, okay. So the disadvantage with this system is that we're only going to have like 4 total levels of transparency, like, and of these 4, 2 are full transparent and full non-transparent. So we only have 2 in the middle. So and what we get. I'm a little bit lost for words. Oh my god. Oh my God. Right. What if I do this? Let's start being silly now. How to fix? Take a short break, walk away from the computer, keep walking. Yeah, and convert everything to Unreal Engine. These are this is a perfect example of why you shouldn't write an engine if you want to make a game. Ah, shit. The big problem right now is that what I see doesn't make sense. I don't understand how those numbers are changing the way they do. No. No. All right. Where are we? No. Now alpha is 1. Now alpha is 1. How is my terrain has an alpha of 1.5? .8. Where is it coming from? See, this one is putting 25. This one is not. Which makes me think it must be something to do. It cannot be a coincidence that objects that don't have alpha to coverage, the output merger reports this. Let me get an object that doesn't have. Yeah. It looks like when alpha to coverage is enabled, this value goes wrong for some reason. Let's give it a blend. I mean, nothing to lose, right? Because this could be the nail in the coffin, isn't it? This could be, right, I need to suck it up and implement proper blending. There you go. 0.25. And let me get the shader to not do this, and so I can also understand if I need to do the gamma correction or not. Hello? Right, so okay, so we're getting 0.584. Is that what we want? Was it 255? Is not what we want. How did we get here? Okay, so let me now go back to my put back this code, rerun this. There you go, 784. So we don't need to do that gamma correction on the alpha channel, which makes complete sense. And I will have to implement a proper transparent layer pass. I don't have other options. or live with this as our maximum level of transparency and very good performance. And things that work. Let me see the boat, the other boat. Yeah, to the transparency. That's pretty much the moral of this stream. So I think this is my plan. So this, what I did today, it does what I wanted to do. To be honest, I was really hoping, and I was really hoping to be able to get something darker than this. That's the disappointment. The disappointment is that it's not really dark enough. But it's very difficult to judge now, because we need to see it with the actual boat to see if we're happy. All right, guys. I think so. Yeah, this was half of a fail today. You know, the code does what it should do, but I'm not sure that it's going to be what we need. So it's very possible that yeah, once we put the new boat in, we won't be happy with the result, and we will have to write a proper transparent layer. So we will see. We'll see hopefully next week if the boat is ready and the weather is not too hot. We will see what happens. In the meanwhile, thanks very much for stopping by. If you see this on YouTube, remember you can follow it live on Twitch 3 times a week. And my next stream is going to be next Monday at 10 o'clock in the morning. And have a great weekend, and I will see you later. Ciao, ciao.